Hey, Fanboy Nation.
This is your pal Daffy Duck, and you're watching.
We're watching Fanboy.
A fanboy, etc.
Fanboy Nation.
Dot, I assume Tom.
For those that don't know, it is haram for a man to wear gold in Islam. So, of course, he had to rock the platinum in his Netflix special. Mo Amer, Mohammed in Texas. How are you today?
I'm good, man. Solid teas.
I had to give it to you. I had to give it to you just a little bit.
You know, just it's important just to note that I'm not Khilaf Islam. You know, that's the important thing. You know?
Well, you know, we just got to tease a little bit and we got to have fun. But I figured something out. I'm Lebanese Christian. Mohammed is Palestinian-Muslim. And he figured out the one way to unify both religions and nationalities after 45 years.
Thank you. You know, this is what I do. You know, I'm a unifier, and I look like I'm dying. I don't know why this lighting is just absolutely terrible for me right now.
Well, Habibi, the unifier, and this is the only spoiler from the special, is our uniformed hate of bastardized hummus.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. Come on, man. It's one of the biggest irritations of my whole life. Like it's an immediate trigger. You know, it's just like immediately I just want to snap on everybody. Like I can't believe that this is socially acceptable to do it. I mean, it's just complete hijacking and bastardization of our hummus. Like, yeah. I mean, I spent 5 minutes on it in my special, the closer. So, I mean, it just tells you how irritating it is to me.
We could do 40 minutes right now by ourselves.
Yeah, I'm ready, bro. Let's do it.
No, the funny thing was, like, I was in San Antonio, Texas, and this lady comes with a tray, and one's red, one's green. It was like, what's this? She's like, hummus. And I'm looking at her just completely confused. I was like, where'd this come from? And she's like, oh, this is this. I was like, no. There's no special. It's garbanzo beans. Don't give me this garbage. You know, whatever.
Exactly. No, it's appalling. I mean, what can I say, man? I'm shedding a tear every time. I'm close to weeping at any moment, bro. You keep talking about it, I might break down, and this interview might have to be canceled.
Listen, I do have to ask you one thing before we get on to the special, and congratulations on it. 1 hour and 5 minutes runtime from the beginning to the end credits. You had us rolling the whole time. Dave Chappelle giving you a sickness. We don't want to say which one. You know, all this other stuff that's going along with it. You got a new show coming to Netflix. You're working with The Rock in Black Adam. This is the most important question I have to ask you.
Sure.
How, and you know, Allah yarhamu labayyak, he's not with us anymore. How'd you break it to your mom and your dad? I'm going to go tell jokes for a living.
Yeah, I mean, my dad wasn't alive when I started doing stand-up, so it's pretty amazing. But I think he would be so proud. Probably resisted it a lot in the beginning. My mom was not a fan at all. I mean, like we don't know what stand-up comedy is, right? So it's a completely foreign art form to us. There's only 3 indigenous art forms to America, and that's jazz, stand-up comedy, and hip-hop. So even though I already knew about jazz and hip hop to a certain extent, you know, stand-up comedy was a completely new thing. And yeah, she wasn't a fan at all. I would come home super late and she would just be very upset every single time, didn't understand it. But after spending quite so much time doing stand-up and started working with some of the most incredible artists on planet Earth and some of the most amazing venues on Earth, she understood. You know, I think it was after she saw me at Radio City Music Hall, actually, which she was starting to understand more and more. But when she saw me in 2017 at Radio City Music Hall, it was Chance the Rapper, Jon Stewart, Hannibal Buress, of course, Dave Chappelle show, and then, you know, saw me the next day with like Lauryn Hill, and you know, it was just amazing. She was just like, oh, I get it. This is incredible. And she was crying, and I came and I gave her a hug backstage, and she was hanging out with Chappelle's mother, and it was a beautiful moment, one of the most beautiful moments of my career for sure. And then just seeing the joy in her face, and I looked at her and I was like, Mom, isn't this amazing? She goes, yeah. I was like, no, not the show. I came out of you. And now I'm doing this. Isn't that amazing? She's like, yes. It was a really sweet moment. Yeah.
That's the moment where she looked at you and go, it's good you didn't become engineer.
Yeah, exactly. No, she would have probably still liked that for sure. But she sees the significance now when she saw what I did with this the last special was amazing. You know, it was like a dedication to her, and this one becoming something about my father. She just was bawling and loved it so much.
Well, it was amazing. And that ending, I'm not going to give any spoiler away, but the honor for your father at the ending was tremendous. I absolutely loved that. That was great, and a great memorial to him. The one thing I want to mention real quick, though, is like there is a huge now Arab Muslim surgence of comics. There's you, there's Ahmed, there's Dina Haddad, there's like quite a few, Bassem Youssef, and so on and so forth. That like, how is comedy now?
You're mentioning new names. Mentioning very new names. I mean, I started in '95 as a little kid, so we got to give it up to the real guys that started in the beginning. I mean, Ahmed's been at it for quite some time, but really got to give it up for even the non-Arabs like Preacher Moss, who was way ahead of it before even Axis of Evil was even an idea. He was already touring as Allah Made Me Funny. You have Azhar Osman, who was touring in the early 2000s as well, like working as a stand-up comedian in 2003, 4. I was touring South, you know, I was the only one in the South named Mohammed doing stand-up comedy throughout the entire area. So everybody, those are all like really newcomers as far as I know. And it's very, 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 very important to highlight those that came before them and open up the road for all of them. So I give it a lot to Preacher Moss. He's someone who truly saw it, was ahead of the game, and really truly stuck to being who he is, which is a Muslim African American convert to Islam, Washington D.C. And I would argue that he opened it up for everyone in this genre, because I was starting out in the comedy clubs. I was, you know, around. You know, it was nightclubs, bro. It's nightclub stuff. So Preacher Moss is the one. I tip my hat off to him. He's the one who showed me that entire world that existed, and we ended up touring the world together from 2005. Guys, the last show we did all together wasn't even 2015. This was fairly recent. Before, you know, definitely was outgrowing the whole tour and wanted to go back to my original stand-up roots, and just so I'd give it to him. Preacher Moss, Azhar Osman, those are the guys that really and I, you know, was a big part of that as well afterwards. But they're definitely you know, as far as specifically Muslim stand-ups, yeah, nobody else's names belongs next to Preacher, to be honest.
Fair enough, then. I appreciate that you give him the shout out. You know, I heard Dave Chappelle had converted to Islam or was raised Muslim. What's it like praying with Dave?
Beautiful. I mean, it's like he's my bro, man. I don't even see it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't be like, oh, me and Dave are praying next to each other. I don't think that.
No, Mishik, yeah, but this myself, you know, like you listen to his voice and you hear like that distinct Dave Chappelle voice, you know, and then praying, like, you know, sometimes it'll click like, well, it's, you know.
No, it never happened to me. Never happened to me. I mean, like, we've been friends for 14 years, so I never had a situation like that. I mean, early on, it was like, it's dope. Obviously, we're becoming friends, but it was always like a family thing with us. You know, always like his when we first met like for real, not when I was first starting out and I saw him in passing in 99, 2000, but it was when it's like came out in 2007 to our show, All of You Funny. And he came out with actually his mom, his niece, his brother, his sister. And then he came out and did an hour after our show. That was like probably the biggest moment. I was like, whoa, that's so cool. Everybody was going bananas. And then we all had dinner together. And it's always been my family ever since. It was never a situation where it's like, oh, I feel a certain way. It was never like that. It was just a very casual thing. And of course, he's doing things on such a remarkable next level that very few people will ever experience. So I'm just blessed to see that journey with him from 2012 to now. You know, I saw the whole thing. I was there for it from backstage and see him develop in his mind and how it works. It's really genius.
Well, going from 14 years old in the mid 90s to now a grown man doing stand up and getting the recognition that you deserve after all the years of hard work that you put into it, you know, and then it's surprising, you know, like the thing, Allah made us funny, because Middle Eastern people are really funny because we're really sarcastic and we tend to sometimes have a dry humor that people don't get. Why do you think it took so long for people to catch on to that?
Man, it's a very interesting question. I don't think I have a proper answer for it. I think it's just like resisting the entire culture and how it's been portrayed on television. You know, if you see that documentary, Real Bad Arabs, and real spent like film reel, REEL, it was really mind blowing to watch that, and I was really influenced by that. And what I mean by that is that it's important to share stories from our perspective, you know, and that's the big thing that Preacher Moss is coming up a lot in this interview. But this is something that he's always been about. It's like stories from us, but not only for us, but for everyone. And that's what it is, and it's not just like Hollywood's fault and all this stuff. It's just like a matter of the times and like the world catching up. So I think it just became one of those moments like, oh, we really need these stories, and it's becoming more and more obvious that we need them, and it's wild that they don't exist, especially in a moment where there's so much misinformation being put out there. It's crucial. It's absolutely crucial to for us to be, you know, writers and creators of our own projects, and that's the only way to do it. You know, it's just you got to write, and I consider everything I write to be like a savings account for me. And you don't know when you're going to use it, and you're going to withdraw those from your account and then put them out into the world. And this is the moment where I'm constantly withdrawing from stuff that I've been writing since, you know, mid 90s.
You know, I almost moved to Houston, and you have a joke about Californians moving to Texas. There's a large Middle Eastern population in Houston. What turned me off was when I found out the property tax was 3%, and I was like, no, maybe not. You know, that was like What's that?
3%. That's not bad.
In comparison to the 0.9 that we're paying out here, it's a lot, man.
Where are you at?
I'm in Huntington Beach.
Oh, okay. Well, that's, you know, also you have state taxes too, though.
Yeah. It balances out that way. But as soon as I saw, I was like, wait a minute, how much is the house and what's the property tax? Forget this.
Well, that's in Houston, though. They all varies from different parts of it.
Right.
Hey, man, don't talk trash about Houston. This is when you and I will definitely separate. You understand?
Listen, Habibi, I'm only talking about the property tax. Other than that, it's a fun city.
No, we want the taxes. Okay, we like it. Okay. No, it's good, man. It's good.
Nah, man. Well, I'm so happy for you. And what's it like going back? Like, you went to school there, you lived there, you were raised there, and now you get to go back as a professional, as an adult. It's a different vibe being, you know, instead of the Arab kid that got picked on, you know, for whatever reason, and now, you know, you fill out the stadium and the arena over there. Like, what is like 14-year-old Mohammed thinking versus, you know, professional Mo Amer thinking?
Amer,
sorry.
No, it's okay. Man, it's just one of those things because it was a gradual thing. It didn't just happen overnight, you know? So it's just like, it's surreal. Yes. Does it feel great? Absolutely. In the moment, yes. But also, like, it was such a gradual growth that it feels so natural and just warm and, you know, lovely. It's not like, whoa, I can't, you know, this is crazy. It's not crazy. I've been working my ass off for 25 years. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's not crazy, but it's also like very happy that it's all working out the way it is, you know?
You know, Mo, I know you're very busy today. I know you're in Texas right now. You're with family, you're working, you're doing everything else. I don't know where you find time to sleep. I do have to ask, what joke that hit in 1995 would now get you canceled today versus what joke in 1995 would still hit today?
I never wrote any cancelable jokes ever. I am a universal writer that sees the trends before the trends happen, and very grateful for that. You know,
I love it, Mohammed. That's the important thing, man.
I saw it. I was kidding. No, I really nothing. Honestly, like nothing.
Listen, Mohammed, when you come back to LA, we're gonna go get some hummus. We're gonna get some ergile. We're gonna hang out, crack some jokes.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
Make fun of absolutely fresh hummus, real hummus, not like you know.
Yeah, we'll make it at home, bro. We'll make it at home, and everything just homemade. We don't need to go out for no hummus, bro. Just make it at home.
Perfect, man. You know, smoke ergile in the garage. Make it really authentic.
Hello, yellow. That's what I'm talking about. That's the way to live, bro. That's the way. I'm serious. Khalas, we're doing it.
Mohammed, congratulations on the series. We can't tease the new Netflix series too much, but we'll be talking again for that when the time is right. Congratulations on Mohammed in Texas. It's been a great pleasure, and I can't wait to see you face to face.
My pleasure, Habibi. Allah ma'ak, man. Thank you so much for everything.
Absolutely. And let us know where we can find you on social media before I let you go completely.
Yeah, all real Mo Amer, REAL.
Perfect.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of Mohammed Amers out there. Only one real one.
All right. Mohammed Amer, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Mohammed in Texas, great special on Netflix. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you got next. Black Adam is coming soon, and we'll talk then for that as well.
Awesome, man. Can't wait. Habibi. Allah ma'ak. Thank you so much, bro.